Hi, I'm Ben Bentley. I'm a music and portrait photographer based in the UK. In today's video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes on a shoot we did a little earlier on today. Now, we're going to be looking at high-speed sync and how that can really benefit us in terms of adding drama and allowing us to shoot at much wider apertures than we normally would do. So, the Interfit S1 is going to allow me to use the entire shutter range of my full-frame body, which is going to be 1/8,000th of a second, rather than the inbuilt shutter sync speed of 1/250th of a second. That's the difference between really bringing down those backgrounds and underexposing them and bringing the drama that we're hoping to achieve. So let's have a little look at how the shoot went, and I'm going to talk you through what we did in order to achieve these shots. Whilst we were en route to the location, the wind had actually picked up significantly, to the point at which, from the footage you're seeing here, it's not surprising that we ended up ditching the audio from the shoot itself. Being quite high up on the cliffs and dealing with the winds that we were dealing with, I opted to have two assistants actually anchor down the 5-foot Interfit Octobox that we were using. Dan and Rach did a great job of keeping it rooted and stopping it from taking off, essentially. Sean was positioned on a ledge, and although he looks close to the edge, he really wasn't. The key light was positioned just to his left initially, and the height was actually being dictated at that point by the wind, and obviously safety had to come into it, and I just wasn't comfortable with having it as high as I might have liked for the sake of Dan and Rach not really being able to sort of maintain full control of it. So we kept it slightly lower, and we just changed Sean's position in relation to the light rather than perhaps changing the position of the light as I would do in a normal, slightly more controllable environment. We actually found out that the wind was in the region of 45 to 55 miles an hour. But then again, it doesn't get much more real world than this. Sometimes if you're shooting a brief where you only have your talent or your subject for a certain amount of time, whether it's in your control or not, you've got to problem solve and adapt to the situation that you find yourself in. The first step for me when I'm shooting a high-speed sync setup is to really figure out where I want my ambient exposure to be, before then factoring in how much power I'm going to need from my strobe. I took a couple of test frames, and generally speaking I was at ISO 100 and then between 1/5000th of a second and 1/8000th of a second. Generally speaking, I was shooting on my 24-70 and I was at 2.8 in order to let as much flash power in there as possible. With the wind as strong as it was, I was constantly changing my exposure to account for the fast-moving cloud coverage. In any given 10-second period, I could have actually been 1 to 2 stops away from where I was on the frame before. It certainly kept us on our toes, especially in terms of illustrating high-speed sync and what it's capable of. It was a tricky but quite rewarding day, in all honesty, to try and achieve this shoot. Clouds don't get much more dramatic than some of the final shots that you're going to see. There was some serious rain clearly on its way as the clouds were getting blacker and blacker and seemed to be moving in quicker and quicker. So our shoot was cut a little shorter than we might have liked, despite having another hour of daylight to play with. I made the call to pack down and make our way back down from the cliffs to keep everybody safe and keep everybody dry.